What we will be sharing with you in this video is a compilation of 2 visits to India, some 14 months apart, and on the last of those occasions we were accompanied by Sister Esther Bell of the Gosford Ecclesia, and these are some of the experiences that we encountered at the Shunem Home. We're still on Series 1, Aspects of Ecclesial Life in India, and this is Part 3 of that series. This presentation will show you some of what takes place at Shunem Home, which is located at Kismetpur, India, in the state of Telangana. This home was established by Brother Tim and Sister Sarah Galbraith to care for children whose parents are suffering the effects of leprosy. It is also home to a group of senior residents, and as you will see, the age gap presents no barriers to their interaction. Here is a map of India. You will see the red dot indicating the location of Kismetpur in the state of Telangana. It is not very far from Hyderabad, the state capital. So this presentation will deal with Shunem Home, India. This is the entrance to Shunem Home. Nice protective wall and a big gate, concealing a hidden oasis behind there, a nice green environment. And this is the building that you encounter when you first walk in through the entrance gates. Purpose built, the upper floor with that triangular openings around the top veranda where the children reside. And downstairs on the ground floor level behind the shrubbery is where the older residents live. On our last visit there was 25 senior people living there and about 125 children. Through the archway on the left and around to the left is the office and the meeting room, dining area, activities room, all those utilities combined in the one area. There's a downstairs area and an upstairs area to match it. Looking at it from another angle, on the right hand side, upper and lower levels are accommodation. Through that archway in the front is the office, and to the right of the office is where that ground floor activity area is. Some of the happy faces that greet visitors. I don't see a lot of older white faces, but they do get a lot of visitors to the Shunem Home from the west, and mainly young people. Here's some play centre activity. This jungle gym was donated and gets good use by the young ones. Plenty of mouths to feed at the Shunem Home, and here's some happy girls preparing one of the meals, chopping and cutting and getting it ready so it moves to the next stage, which is into where the cooking is done in the food preparation area. And here it is, the kitchen area where they do further food preparation. You'll note the big open fire in the background there, where all the food is cooked over the open flame. This big pestle does the grinding of the spices and the grain that go into making up a lot of the meals, the rice and the wheat and other crops that are needing to be processed, dealt with this heavy duty pestle. And the cooking process is undertaken on these open fires in these large pots. Here is how the children prepare before they partake of their meal.
Washing their plates and their hands.
Washing their plates and their hands for dinner. Where's your teeth gone? Teeth? They're gone. Oh, hello. You got your plate? All right. Here they are. Yeah, you. Got you. Yeah, got you. Yeah, and you. And you. And you. And you. And you. Smile. Yeah, got the plate. They're everywhere. This one's doing something. No, don't do that. Washing their plates for dinner. That's a good job. Doing a good job there. Yeah. Well, this might be a mistaken identity. You might be thinking of somebody else.
Africa?
Yes.
What about Africa?
Australia.
Australia.
I think I've seen you. And you. Yeah. Someone's not happy. Right, we've got to go back inside now. They're going to get dished up for their food. Hello. And here's a group of the young children now, all sitting down in rows, boys and girls. Plates are now clean and ready to receive the food that's sitting up there waiting in these pots, ready to be dished up. So let's have a look at what happens when they come up to get their food. And here's the happy servers, ready to serve. Pots are open, food's being dished up. And here we go, we'll get some action now as to what happens when it's their turn to come forward and get their plates filled. Boys, come up first. This a little back. Back under the queue, come on. Little queue jumper. Plenty of food to go around. You can even come back for seconds if you want to. Well, here, no knives or forks. They all use their hands and they all do it very capably. Everyone's sitting down in rows, well organised, all eating their meals. And we'll see here some action as to how they actually manage to eat it with their fingers.
Hindu thing or generally Indian cooking?
The older girl. This must be so popular.
Okay.
And there's always chores to be done. What do you think these boys are doing? They all look so happy, don't they? Well, let's see what's going on here. What can you see in the water? See those white things in the water? Not just the bubbles. Yes, they're shoes. Shoes, they're washing the shoes. These white shoes are used by the children that attend the C3 Centre, a junior school, and they use these white shoes on their sports days. But they have to be washed every week so they're ready for the next week. You wonder why they'd have white shoes when you see the environment that they walk in. There they are. They're being rinsed Notice there's a couple of black ones already gone in too. Well, not only do they wear the white ones for sports days, every other day of the week they've got to wear the black ones, and they get very dusty. Here's some of them showing you the dust that accumulates, and these too have to be cleaned. Older children wash their own clothes. Here's one of the lads. He's cleaned his shoes and washed them. He's hanging them out on the line to dry. He has a bucket full of other items there that'll similarly be put up in the sun to dry. So while the older group, such as this lad, wash their own clothes, the younger children have their clothes washed for them, of course. And some of the older boys, like we just saw in the previous clip with the shoe washing, do that for the younger ones, and their carers look after their clothing to launder and wash those and get them ready for them. Another of the young boys, who must be older than he looks, washing his clothes in the outdoor wash tub area. It's wash day, and so he's very busy getting himself organised for the days ahead. And here's some outdoor washing taking place with some of the young girls, washing on the outdoor slab in the courtyard. Washing day. No, she's not treading grapes. She's acting as an agitator. Stamping the clothes in the tub before washing them. Nice day for washing. What do you think they're doing here? That green bucket of slime. Well, that's made up of leaves of a tree, and it has antiseptic properties, and every fortnight in the warmer weather it is smeared all over the children, the young children, to protect against infestations, different things, scabies, impetigo and such like. They rub it all over the front, and then each other apply it to the backs in those hard to reach areas that they can't get to themselves. They've got to be fully covered, and they have to stand out in the sun to allow it to dry. It has to dry on the skin to get its full effect. And all the younger ones line up for this process every fortnight on a Saturday. And then the fun part comes where you've got to have it washed off with cold water. That's why you only do it in the summer. It's too cold to do in the winter. The shampoo is distributed in little satchels, and each child gets a satchel, and they tear that open and apply it to their hair, give themselves a good hair scrub, and at the same time they wash off all the green gunk that's been applied to them. Very interesting process to see, isn't it? Something that we wouldn't often see other than here. I'm sure you haven't seen this before, unless you've been to Shunem Home and witnessed it. After the wash, it's time to clean up, get dry and get clothed. All the clothing is in the cupboards here. It's sorted by size. Nobody owns any of this clothing particularly, so all you get is your size. You don't get your own clothes. You keep your own clothes elsewhere for good occasions. The general clothing they wear is the clothing that's in these cupboards, and it's distributed to the boys and to the girls according to size. This little fella would get the right size because he'd be the only one that would take this size. He scrubbed up well, didn't he, after that green all over him in the earlier picture? And after you're dried and you're dressed, it's time to have your hair done. They do each other's hair, and they rub coconut oil into it to strengthen it and also to give it that beautiful shine that it seems to get. And the finished product is a pretty looking like this. Some pretty faces with nice clean hair, nice clean clothing, ready for the next activity. Here's another one, all cleaned up and ready for the next activity, and she got beautiful eyes. Well, you notice a lot of the younger children have short hair. That's for ease of maintenance, but it's also to keep lice under control, which is a problem in longer hair with younger children. So they all keep them short. And that presents a bit of an issue to visitors like us. It's hard sometimes to tell which are the boys and which are the girls because they all have the same short black hair. This is a combined Sunday school activity. This is for a special weekend. Generally, they have the junior school here at Shunum Home, and the senior class is held down the road, about 10 or 12 minutes walk down the road at the C3 Centre where the school is held. So we'll look at this clip and we'll see what these children are doing here now. Well, 15 minutes ago, this was the dining room where all these young children were lined up to eat. Now it's going to be turned into the Bible study and reading. Right. Yep, they're all sitting down getting ready for the prayer and the readings and the comments. The girls are on this side and the boys are on the other side. And there's Brother Tim. And here they are, all seated and ready. The young ones at the front, the girls down the left and the boys down the right. Now this takes place every night of the week. They get together before dinner or after dinner, and they have singing and prayer, Bible reading and comments on the reading. It's the New Testament reading they do in the evening. In the morning they get up at 6:30 and they get ready for school, breakfast and a Bible reading in the morning as well. This is some of the older group that I mentioned that live there. The senior group is 25 of them on our last visit. This elderly resident in the white has just come out of hospital. I believe it's the first meeting she's attended since coming home from hospital. We're just getting organised now for the evening prayer, getting the children all settled so that they can all conduct the prayer together and recite their prayer. She's just come out of hospital, so we've got the children here. Just getting ready to recite their prayer, to get settled down, about to commence. The older group here, many of whom are Christadelphians, not all of them. I think we're ready now. Got their eyes shut. Where was we up to, he says. Well, wasn't that lovely? This young brother was one of the early admissions to the Shunem Home many years ago, and he's grown up there and spent the majority of his life there. And now he's about to read Acts chapter 20, and after this there will be discussion and comments on the reading.
Reading Acts chapter 20 in Telugu.
Sisters reading along. Let's listen to the children now singing one of their songs. Everyone joins in, and it's quite melodious. They have a nice time singing this song. There's the words. You can join in too. These are some of the older residents of Shunem Home. Sister Juliet and Brother Ratchu on the top left there, affectionately known as Romeo and Juliet. Sadly, Brother Ratchu has passed away since that shot was taken. The next slide there, Sister Sarah sitting on the left, obviously isn't a resident of the Shunem Home. Some of the older people, the residents there, Christadelphians, but not all. And there are a lot of women, sisters, females, compared to the males, the men, the brothers, because they seem to die quicker, earlier, younger, and there are a lot of widows in India generally. Sitting in, listening to the proceedings that are going on this evening. Here we have the children presenting one of their action songs for us. They were getting very involved. Did you find yourself humming along with that? That last video clip and this are a special national holiday that was being celebrated this weekend. It was Nehru's birthday, and so they have special activities where they can dress up and they celebrate this. Here are some of the other younger ones. the next age group up from the ones we just looked at, and they're getting ready to do the same sort of thing. They got their traditional clothing on, and the boys have got their headdresses on as well, and they're about to give a performance as well. Some of the older ones sitting in, watching the activity, enjoying the night together with the younger ones. As I said earlier, the age barrier is no barrier. Now here's a treat. Mr. Janet. That wasn't the treat I was talking about. Mr. Esther. He wasn't a treat either. Another song. What's this older group going to do now? Well, in appreciation of what the younger ones have just done, this older group is going to do a presentation of a song as well.
The old people are going to do an altar.
Literacy is a big problem here, among the older group especially. In fact, they don't speak or understand English, makes communication very difficult for us, unfortunately. You'll try.
All the children of the world, red and black and white, all are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world, red and black and white, all are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world.
Wasn't that lovely? Well, as you'd expect, school homework time comes before bedtime. And here's the children, every night they get together and they do their homework. When field workers are present, they bring up tracts, sections of books, magazines, anything they can lay their hands on that's in English, and they practice their reading skills to the field workers who help them with pronunciation, expression, vocabulary and so forth. But this is certainly a busy time every night. And it's also story time. While the older ones are doing their homework, the younger ones are up in their bedroom area having a story. Bedtime story from field workers. On this occasion, it's Sister Sarah and Sister Janet. Sister Janet was conscious, this was the first time we're there in Shunem Home, conscious of the shortness of her skirt, as you'll see in the picture. And immediately after this, she went out and had some local garments made that were more conducive to Indian attire. She felt uncomfortable in this, and being the first time there, wasn't sure what to wear or what to expect. But now, wherever she goes, she wears the local attire. So, what are these children so interested in? What are they so keen to listen to? Well, let's have a listen to what they're listening to.
Simpkin short. And Simpkin long. Simpkin smooth. And Simpkin rough. And Simpkin? That is quite enough. Simpkin warm.
Well, in that storybook, Simpkin has just gone to sleep. And now it's time for these children to go to sleep. And before they do, they say their prayers. When they finish their prayers, they all lay down on these mats on the concrete floor and they go to sleep for the night. They wake up the next morning and all the things that we've been looking at, they go through once again. And so the cycle continues. The work at Shunem Home is a great work. These children are privileged to grow up learning about the things of the truth as they are taught there in that facility, as well as being provided for in the material things of life. They get the spiritual food as well as the material blessings. And it is a great thing that we're able to go there and to help in this work that is being undertaken by our brother Tim and Sister Sarah and all their team of helpers. We thank God for such a great facility as this. Well, this concludes our visit to Shunem Home. We hope that you enjoyed looking in on them and that you found the variety of activities interesting. God willing, more of our experiences in mission fields will be shown from time to time. The next one will be a visit to the C3 Learning Centre, the junior school, which is an adjunct to the Shunem Home.